What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JTW Sports Show. As you can see, TJ's back. He is back. TJ, tell us about your little COVID adventure, buddy.
So I tested negative, and then I had the flu, and then I go back and I test positive, and I've been for 2 weeks locked up, dying. But now I'm good enough to do the show.
Dude, we missed you, buddy. We missed you. It's good to have you back.
You guys did good.
It's not the same. It's not the same without your, stupid takes. But
listen, and my one stupid take didn't work out, but my other one did.
What was that?
My other stupid take was that the Cowboys were going to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Well,
that's something. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and start with the Cowboys. What a way to choke your season, to end your season. Like, come on, really? In case anybody doesn't know, there was about 12 seconds left on the clock. They're down by a touchdown, only by 6, though. So if they would have scored the extra point, they win the game, and they've 0 timeouts. And the 49ers defense is playing sideline defense. So they're giving them the entire –
Literally, they had 6 DBs lined up on the sideline.
And Dak Prescott takes a snap, and it was a designed QB draw. And he just takes off for about 20 yards, slides, puts the ball down. And what they didn't realize is that the referee has to touch the ball to be able to snap it. So the referee's coming in, pushing everybody out the way, trying to touch the ball to help these guys. And the clock ran out, hit zeros. It was ridiculous.
And
I think that was just a stupid play to begin with.
Yeah,
let's run a QB draw.
And they said that was a called play. It wasn't like they got up to the line, saw they were lined up like that, and then called it. Like, they had that play called no matter what. And
the OC really went, I believe in Dak.
And everybody was like saying the ref shouldn't have grabbed the ball, moved it back a yard, and then put it back. But then, they still didn't get the ball. They still wouldn't have got the ball off.
And there's actually a rule. People don't know this, that if you spike the ball under 2 seconds, it's a runoff. You can't spike the ball under 2 seconds of game clock. So either way, they would have lost the game. It was a dumb call. End of the day, hindsight's always 20/20. They should have gone for the end zone.
Well,
but
they also shouldn't have had 14 penalties and gave up 160 rushing yards. And they didn't look that good on offense, in my opinion.
To a 49ers team that's been up and down all season between Jimmy G, Trey Lance, everyone going who's the starter, and next thing you know, they're beating it.
They're still talking about Jimmy G. Like, next year, they're like, yeah, Jimmy G coming back next year is probably not going to be with the 49ers. And I'm like, bro, he's led you to the playoffs 2 out of the 3 years, y'all. He's been there. Or, sorry.
It's 2 out of the 4 because he was hurt. 2 out of the
4, but the 1 year he tore his ACL. So, I'm not counting that year. And 1 year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but at the same time,
his success is outweighing his losses.
Yeah, but I really want to talk about Deebo Samuel and how dynamic he is and how much of a breakout star he's been this year. And I'm sure y'all feel the same way. As of right now, in my opinion, this season he was the 3rd best receiver in the league, behind Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams. And
I'm gonna disagree with that. I still think Justin Jefferson as a receiver was better than him. But he was more dynamic and he played a different position. So,
I would say he's a better 3rd best receiver because that's his position. But as far as overall player, he can do so many things. And I love watching him. He's so explosive.
Well, I love what came out that he looked at Shanahan, said, give me the ball. And then he goes off and scores a touchdown.
I think it's cool of Shanahan to be like, okay, that just motivated me. Let me actually give him the ball rather than, let me do it. It's my job. I'm the big guy here, So he trusts his players and he listens to his players, and hell, it got
another upsetting game is how bad the Patriots played.
Yeah, you can say.
Let me rephrase that. It's hard to stop. We've said this. It's hard to stop a Josh Allen Bills offense that's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
and for some reason they were firing on all cylinders. And everyone's trying to say that Mac Jones – everyone forgets Mac Jones is a rookie. Mac Jones still has plenty of development to go through. Now he has a whole offseason to work with his receivers, and I think they're going to be in better position next year. But as a rookie, he led his team to the playoffs in his first year.
And people were saying that he wasn't even going to be good in the NFL. People were saying, he wasn't that good. Because he didn't play at Alabama until his senior year and all this and that. And obviously nobody –
Look who was in front of him.
nobody even expected them to be good this year. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
they thought they were going to be kind of like average. I mean, I guess they finished the season. I want to say 10-7. Yeah, but like everybody thought they would win like 8 games, 7, 8 games. They didn't think they were going to be in the playoffs.
I think it's quite clear that this has been the fastest rebuild of any team to lose their star quarterback ever. I mean, you lose the greatest quarterback of all time,
And you have
and
one
then
bad year.
2 years later, you're right back to the playoffs. Like, are you kidding me? It says a lot about Belichick, and that's what got me in the whole playoff loss was Belichick losing to the Bills. But the Bills team is good, man. It's a good team. Josh Allen's great. Stephon Diggs, great receivers. The defense played good. I love that secondary, in Buffalo. And
I just love we got a big man touchdown.
Yeah,
I think so. But then Kansas City had one too. It was the
no,
weekend
that
of
was-
big man touchdown.
That was the game of Allegretti was Kansas
Talk
City.
about big performances. Josh Allen had 5 touchdowns, 300-something yards, 5 touchdowns. But Patrick Mahomes, switching gears a little bit, 500 yards and 500 touchdowns. 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, not 500.
That Steelers team.
Look, all I'll say is people say the Steelers didn't deserve to be there. They won more games than the other people there. I mean, let's be honest. The Chargers probably could have been there if they weren't stupid and called a timeout to lose that game. I mean, in my opinion, looking at the other teams that were just on the edge of making the playoffs over the Steelers, I mean, the Steelers were probably I think they were the most well-rounded team, in all honesty. Like the Colts, other than Jonathan Taylor on offense, I don't think the Colts are very good, in my opinion.
Is that because of the quarterback? He's been getting a lot of hate by his own teammates. I don't see a future with Carson Wentz there. But I mean,
they're talking about Jimmy G going there.
Might be a good fit. I don't know, but
I think Gardner Minshew's a better fit.
Either way, I think going back to the Chiefs game. The Chiefs dominated. They showed that they're a Super Bowl contender, and they're ready to get it. I mean, this is one down. They still got a few to go. They still got to get through. A good Titans team, a good Bengals team. Good Bills team.
What are you talking? I was like, they play the Bills.
They got to beat the Bills this week, and that game.
Those are obviously the remaining AFC teams, and it's a tough schedule.
And the last time that they met, if I'm right, they've only met once, right? This season, they only played once, or did they play twice?
No, they played once.
If they played once, remember the Bills dominated that whole game. But that was
when the Chiefs weren't solid defensively yet, but they definitely found themselves.
That was week 5.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs were like 2-4 at that point.
Yeah. But I mean, it is also sad with this Chiefs win. It is sad that we finally have seen Ben Roethlisberger play in his final NFL game as a Steeler.
And Will and I talked about how they're calling timeouts at the end, trying to get Big Ben to score.
I wish they would have let him.
I wish they would have let him, get another touchdown. Just
they were on like the 13, 14-yard line, and he threw a pass to like the 5, and like there was like 3 Kansas City Chiefs around the tight end. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Freiermuth. It was the other one, and I looked at Jimmy. I was like, dude, I wish they would have just let him go. Like, just so Big Ben
they could call a timeout,
Yeah,
just so Big Ben could finish on,
It's not like it would affect anything. I mean, the only thing that would pissed off was bettors that bet on like over-under type stuff. But looking at the other games from, this weekend, the Raiders and the Bengals, it really wasn't much to talk about. I mean, Joe Burrow got his first playoff win, year 2, right?
It's year 2.
Yeah, good God.
Because remember, he tore his
COVID makes.
But remember, he tore his ACL last year.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I can say about the Bengals, looking at the team last year and the team, they heavily improved the offensive line, which was something that they said if you want Joe Burrow to win some games, that's what you have to do.
I mean,
and now
when in LSU, they had probably the best overall offensive line in the nation.
And now they won their first playoff game in how many years was it?
Too many.
I think it was like
no. It was
30.
It was 1995 because I remember there was a thing and it was like nobody's ever sent a text saying the Bengals have won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Wow.
The text message
once they won, I sent a text.
1996.
I said the Bengals have won.
But that game kind of went how I expected. Another game that went how I expected was Bucks Eagles.
Yeah, that one was everybody knew.
That game was awful.
Talk
Hey,
about a team
Brady-
that didn't deserve it. People say the Steelers didn't deserve it. The Eagles did not deserve it.
Nah. Hey, Brady finally caught that pass though. You remember a couple years ago, Super Bowl.
He dropped it.
He dropped that over the shoulder, but finally, Jalen Hurts threw past the end of the game.
Well,
Brady caught on the sideline, so good for him.
Well, coming out of that game though, I think it just shows how much social media affects. Bruce Arians was fined $50,000 today.
I saw that
for hitting his safety. I didn't
do y'all think he was hitting him because he was pissed, or do you think he was hitting him telling him good job?
No, he was hitting him because he was pissed. He was hitting because he was pulling one of the Eagles players out of the pile, and that's a flag. That's a 15-yard personal foul.
He probably hit him saying, "Don't be stupid." And the thing is that is part of football. We've all been hitting the helmet at least at one point or another, saying,
"No, we haven't." No. Our coach.
I've been grabbed by my face mask before by a coach.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But nowadays, it's you can't do that, and they fined him $50,000, and we're gonna move on with it now.
I'm sure that $50,000 is not going to mean anything once he wins another Super Bowl. Because I said at the beginning of the season, you guys can go back in the videos. I said Bucks versus Bills. I said Bills, right? Either Bills or Chiefs, one of the two. And I think that's going to be. I think I said Bills.
We'll have to go back before.
For my Super Bowl prediction, I still have that on. I still think the Bucks are going to win it.
Hey, let's talk about my Super Bowl pick in the last game of the weekend, and that's the Rams. We all know I picked the Rams as soon as they got Matthew Stafford. That was before they got Von Miller. They looked good. The Cardinals look. I don't know if they look. I mean, the Rams did look good. Odell looked really good. I know we've talked a lot of shit about Odell on this channel.
Moss to Marco Wilson.
He looked good. Cooper Kupp didn't have that good of a game, but that goes to show you that Odell is stepping up, and you don't need Cooper Kupp to have 130 yards a game to win you a game.
I just like the fact we're finally seeing Matt Stafford do what Matt Stafford's been destined to do, and that's win a playoff game.
Finally win a playoff game.
And
it felt good as a football fan. It felt good.
It felt good as a football fan and a Georgia fan to watch Matthew Stafford have that success. I think it's just disappointing for the Cardinals though, at how they played awful. And it goes even further to show all season long, it was between them and the Packers as the best team in the NFL. It went back and forth. It went between them two and the Bucks all season long.
As the top record.
I
think we all agreed they weren't the best.
They showed a graphic during the game when they had DeAndre Hopkins. They were undefeated. Or no, they're not undefeated. They were like 8-2 when they had DeAndre Hopkins. And then
they lose D-Hop and
out them. I want to say they were 3-4 or something like that. So and they scored 10 less points per game, and I want to say their third down conversion rate was 20 points lower. So obviously D-Hop on third down. I mean, you need a third. It's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. You're going to throw it to D-Hop. I mean, let's be honest.
Let's talk about the pick six. Let's what's y'all's thoughts on Kyler Murray? For everyone that doesn't know, again, Kyler Murray, they're on a 2-yard line. He's dropping back, and he gets immediate pressure, comes around, breaks his sack, and then just tosses the ball, trying to throw it away, trying to throw it to, I think it was Rondale Moore was there in the area. So I think he was trying to make a play, but
at that point, dude,
you got to in the end zone. That's when we knew it was over.
You've got to take
but to his defense, he's trying to throw it away, trying to make a play, stop a sack, stop a safety. A safety right there. Who knows? Momentum, 2 points, give them the ball back, they score again. I mean, that's a 9-point difference rather than a 7-point difference. I'm not defending him. Obviously, it wasn't a good decision, and I think he probably, should have sensed the pressure and thrown it away earlier.
I mean, I'm sure he regrets.
Either way, it was a game-changing play. Oh yeah, he does. I mean, he even came out to say I'm sorry, I didn't play good, but also, I mean,
there was 21 other guys also that didn't play their best.
There was
especially JJ Watt. Everyone was.
I mean, they just come off of an injury.
That's my thing.
He hasn't played in 10 weeks. I mean, that's why everybody keeps talking about Derek.
But in that, I was hoping you'd say that, or one of you guys would say that, because I know we're doing predictions this upcoming soon or whatever. But something like a JJ Watt, he hasn't played in 10 weeks, 11 weeks, or whatever it is. that affects players. So everyone's like, Derrick Henry's about to roll over this upcoming weekend.
Nah, he still will.
I don't know.
Knowing Derrick Henry, he could, because that's just what Derrick Henry. He's just like
it's Derrick Henry, and it's the Alabama mentality.
At the same time, a running back who hasn't played in 8 weeks now, 9 weeks now, like
9,
he might not have that stamina that he.
So you don't think he's going to perform? Okay. So what about Cam Akers, who just came off of a torn Achilles?
95 yards.
I understand that. I'm not saying that Derrick Henry isn't going to play good. I'm just saying you never know. Like, I was literally about to bring up. I was saying, let's talk about Cam Akers. Obviously, he only had 55 yards on 17 carries, but a 5.5 months from a Achilles, like that's like unheard of.
A torn Achilles.
Injuries. Everybody's healing from injuries and surgeries so much quicker. That over the weekend, a video of Jameis Winston, he's what, 2.5 months, 3 months after his ACL surgery, and he's already doing drills again. Yeah, and he's already doing drills again.
It's crazy.
Everybody's healing. Everyone's healing. The turnaround time, instead of it being the year. I mean, if you remember, what was it, 3-4 years ago, KD tore his Achilles, and it's like, all right, he's going to be out close to a year. And now look,
he was out.
Cam Akers, 5.5 months, man's. Yeah, 5.5 months, man's playing.
Yeah,
and
it's impressive.
It's not like he's like jogging around. Like, he was like legit out there running full speed, like cutting off his ankle or
running people over. One of them was Budda Baker, who prayers up for Budda Baker. They said he's okay.
He's good,
but
I think he got discharged last night.
Yeah, he's fine now. He's good. He's already rehabbing, but I mean, he was taken off on a stretcher. Nobody likes to see that. Everybody hates injuries, obviously, but thank God he's okay. I mean, it didn't look too good after he got hit, but I mean, that's part of the game, and it's a fun game, and it's a fun game to watch, and I'm super excited to keep watching the rest of the playoffs. And
wild card weekend didn't disappoint. Wild card weekend was still wild card.
Yeah. So I mean, the rest of the playoffs, it's going to be fun.
I got one little question for y'all before we finish up. So, out of all the games, who do you think, like, not who, but what?
Great question. Hell of a question.
Did y'all hear that?
You lagged out.
No,
okay. I'm sorry. I said, what like surprised y'all the most? Just out of all the games, what like performance, what scenario, what surprised y'all the most this weekend?
Huh. That's tough.
That's.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys defense. I was expecting a lot more from them. They statistically on the year, takeaways, turnovers, they had a lot, and they didn't have in this game. Trayvon Diggs kind of got lit up a little bit. He didn't play very well. Yeah, it kind of showed, how he's maybe not even a top 8 corner in the league, So we'll see. First team all pro for nothing, right?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with the Bills offense. I'm gonna go with the Bills offense shock just for the pure fact of the last time it was those sub-zero temperatures and the wind like it was when the Patriots and the Bills met. It was a run game. It was low scoring. I was not expecting Josh Allen to have 5 touchdowns. I was not expecting that offense to put up 47 points. Like it was a huge turnaround. So honestly, that was probably the most surprising, but I think it's the momentum they need going into this weekend against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Will, what about you, buddy?
I'm going to go with the team that we just talked about a minute ago in the Cardinals. It surprised me how bad they played. And not because they're a young team, but like I don't know. Now they're talking about Cliff Kingsbury, leaving to go back to college because of how bad that game was. So it's like, wow. That game surprised me. They're talking about, Kyler Murray is not it, and he's just not that good, and all kinds of.
I did see a bunch of memes of Kyler Murray about to have a baseball tryout before spring training starts.
To me, that was just the biggest takeaway, and how bad they played.
People always, the quarterback position, you always get the most love and you always get the most hate. It sucks, but that's football. But hey, I mean, hey, playoffs football, it's such a fun time of the year. Even this season for the basketball season too, NBA, about mid-season, you're kind of wrapping things up and trying to see who's going to make the playoff run for basketball too. We'll be talking that more in another episode, but hey, this one's fun. We'll see you guys soon, and please like, subscribe, and comment. See you guys.
Sure. See you guys
See
later.
ya.